So there's the first page of the start sheet today. Nicholas Lau will go. That's a famous telemarking name. See how he gets on. Been racing up in Iceland, a place called Akureyri, which we've been talking about already this morning. And as you'll see, there are plenty of flags there that you may or may not recognise. Yeah, good practice.
Yes, I think this is the biggest spread of exotic nations, nations who really have more rainforest than snow. So it's tough to get time on skis. And even Justina Kowalczyk, who's presenting there on site, the expert, she's, she was 15-year-old when she got on her skis. And many of these athletes have had that same issue.
A couple more Icelanders be interesting to see if they can do as well as their women did earlier on today. Benediktsson, and yeah, they get plenty of opportunity. I think in Iceland, the snow isn't the issue. It's trying to find somewhere where it's not too windy. It does blow up there. Had some friends who went there for a biking holiday, never got on the bikes. It is that windy that cycling, 1 minute you're on your side of the road, the next second you're not.
Yes, and then when you're skiing on that, the powder blow, and if your tracks have been cut and prepared, they soon fill in, so it makes it awkward skiing.
Last few nervous moments. One or two energy bars being consumed at this stage. Often think that's a little bit late in the day.
Yes, I certainly felt that as well. You do often see with 10 minutes to go athletes taking a banana, bit of banana, some energy drinks, and maybe for the longer distance races, 10K, not that far.
Yeah, a little nibble maybe doesn't do any harm. You certainly don't want to boost the sugar levels too much at this stage. Otherwise, there's a danger that you go into sort of hypoglycemia in the early stages of the race. Of all the cross-country races for this season, Mike, this is the most colourful one of the lot in terms of ski suits.
It's beautiful, isn't it? The variety and all the new ski suits we're seeing from those nations who are not really accustomed to snow, more, as I said earlier, the rainforest.
One or two of the athletes making their way up to the stadium, Mike, the pre-qualified ones, just to check it out, see what's going on. And this race, as well as an opportunity for all these athletes, is a real opportunity for the media crew to get their act together, iron out any last-minute problems that may arise.
Yes, and the camera positions look absolutely fine. We're not going to follow the athletes all the way around this course, but fourth place now, 51 seconds behind. That's at 3 kilometers, so still a long way to go. R.Ideus will feel great coming up the top of this climb. And then it is quite an easy, from 3 kilometers to 5 kilometers, quite an easy descent, an easier terrain into the halfway marker. Head very much down, and when the head goes down, the hips go back a little, and inefficiencies begin to build in. So number 9, Monchablon. But behind him, R.Ideus setting the fastest time now, 6.3 seconds ahead, flying up the hill.
Really important to keep the fluids in. It's a warm day here in Planica. Just wondering how that's going to affect the events. It doesn't really affect the sprinters, does it, Mike? I mean, it's quite nice to be able to sprint with lighter layers of clothing on. Just thinking about going to the back end of the championships, the 50K, if it's as warm as this.
Oh, that will be, and yes, you don't really want to lose too much fluid. You lose enough anyway through your breath, and of course your body goes up into what is fever temperature, so drinks are vital for the 30 and the 50 kilometre, the 2 last days of racing.
Yeah, and it's that sort of day where everyone starts with a hat and a headband, and halfway round it's a bit like going to the races. There are hats flying everywhere, and just trying to get them off. And the 30-minute mark, I think we should go under the 30-minute mark. Winning time, as I said, 24:23 in Oberstdorf 2 years ago. Campbell Wright, who now competes on the biathlon, he was in second place. And Sabat's time, what's he going to manage? 20...
Yeah, it'd be sub 27.
28. Yeah.
What are we looking at there? 27.56.
That's a great effort. That is Reykjavik times.
I know you were born in England. I know that you also did the Summer Olympics in rowing.
Yes.
How did you end up also competing in cross country?
So my last World Championships was here in Slovenia in 2011. And after that same year, I moved to Canada. My wife, she's Canadian. And I fell in love with cross-country ski. And rowing, I was having a lot of lower back problems and injuries. So I tried skiing, and I fell in love with ski. And then in 2018, I watched the Olympic Games in Korea. And we had a Colombian representing. And I thought, wow, this is incredible. You know, there's a Colombian that went to the Olympic Games. And I thought maybe there's a way I can start skiing and represent my country again. And I got in touch with Sebastian and the team, and have been training to achieve that goal in the future. So very lucky.
I know that my countryman Olaf Tufte, who's also an Olympic rowing champion, he is also a pretty decent skier. So obviously you use some of the same muscle groups.
Yes, it's a very similar training regime to rowing. And Olaf Tufte, he was my inspiration when I was learning to row in England. And I was very fortunate to row next to him in Beijing in 2008. And he's been very inspiring to me. So it's great to see him also be a cross-country skier, a farmer, very involved in the community. And I'm very, very proud to know Olaf Tufte. So.
Good to hear. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much as well.
So that was nice to see. R.Ideus.
Yes, I think he did well today, Patrick. 33rd position, 32 minutes 14, and only 5 minutes, just over 5 minutes behind. That's a good performance for somebody so new to cross-country skiing.
Yeah. So the 1.4 kilometre track, let's have a look. The bottom of your screen, really the crucial part, the initial climb, which is nothing too taxing, and then up they go, a double step, a full summit if you like, and you get very little respite in between the top of the first peak and the start of the second climb. But then, Mike, it's the fastest section of the course, all the way down to that hairpin bend that so many think's going to be the key part.
Yes, and when it comes, it's okay when you're racing individually in the qualifying, but when it comes to 6 athletes in a pack, that section is difficult. Very stressful pack racing here, tight pack racing, because of these tight bends. So it really is about strategy, getting yourself in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, total climb of 49 metres. Doesn't sound much, but I know you went on a 49-metre climb yesterday, Mike, just to see what it was like. And it's pretty brutal.
It is brutal. It hurts. It goes on forever, and it really burns you up.
Names of the qualifiers. It's got as far as number 25, which means we have another 5 athletes to finish, none of whom are going to change anything. R.Ideus here, 35-year-old. He's been training and racing in Canada of late, and this is only his 4th ever event. That's not bad at all. That's really good.
That's impressive, isn't it? Yes, well, former rower, isn't he? So that is, he's got the capacity, but now trying to find his way in terms of this technical madness that is classic cross-country skiing.
Yeah, rowers with that advantage that they've had to learn how to use their legs. And so many people that come from another sport, Mike, come into cross-country skiing and try and do 80% with the arms.
Yes, they do, and not a lot of rowers use this in the winter months in the off season to keep the legs and the arms and the back. It really does complement rowing and so many sports, so many other sports.